Welcome to Screen Time with me, KerbRider, on my interview show. It is that time of the month, and this time I'm kind of slightly rebranding. I'm calling this the Seminal Four, where I'm interviewing my guests about the four films that made them fall in love with film. And that would be from films from their childhood or into their early teens that made them go, "Wow, I can't believe movies can be like this." And on this week's show, I have my good buddy and often collaborator, Mr. Shane Conto, at the Wasteland Reviewer, wherever, or YouTube, Instagram, everywhere. How are you going? How you going, buddy? Thanks for coming on.
I am all present, Adam. I am everywhere. But no,
The
thank you so much for
entity.
having me on your show. Uh, I I am an entity. I'm doing good, and I'm looking forward to chatting some movies with you. And it's
Yeah.
always nice to be a passenger sometimes on a show and not the one
Yes.
driving the bus.
Yeah. I do guest on, well, probably all of your shows actually at various times.
Yeah.
it is good to drive the cart sometimes. But we'll
Yep.
see how that works out for me actually. We may as well get stuck straight into it because it is late on a Sunday night and I've got to get up early tomorrow. It's very early for
Work.
you where you are, aren't you? Um,
Um, I'm I'm pretty much awake at this point, but I get your point.
I'm pretty much awake too, actually, just on opposite ends of the day. What's the first one we're going to talk about? Because you don't have to say your age, obviously, on this show, but your seminal movies would be through the 90s and early thousands, I suppose.
Yeah, so I was born in 91, so I'm turning 35 this year.
Okay.
So
Wow.
halfway through my 30s.
I always
I
forget how
am
young you
not
guys are, you know? Like, I always forget that how much older I am than you.
it's it's the grays. Most people think I'm considerably older than I actually am. And also the
It's
facial
your
hair
wisdom.
generally
It's
too.
your wisdom, not your hair.
It's my wisdom showing. Um and I'm totally not having moments of like, oh, I'm not getting any younger. I need to get on certain things and
Yeah.
so we're at
Mm.
that point
I'm glad you'll let
in
that listen
my
now.
in my mid 30s. Um,
Took
but
me longer.
I I have been consistently watching movies since I was a small child. I
Hmm.
remember I don't remember going to see Indian in the Cupboard, but apparently that was my first movie in a theater,
Oh
and
yeah.
that was like 95. So I
Wow.
remember seeing Space Jam. So like I've been going to the movies since I was a little kid, not
Mm.
as frequently as I do now because money. Um, but I'm adult now and I have a job.
Adult money.
And
Yes.
yes, and I had collections of movies since I was a small child. I remember
Hmm.
having a little wall full of VHS tapes
Nice.
before, the conversion and what you get to see all the time while we're recording movies. But no, it was the 90s and into the early 2000s were like seminal movie watching for me.
Hmm.
But I also grew up in a household with my mom, my brother, and my grandparents.
Right.
So there was a lot of, and like my grandparents were born in the 20s. So like
Wow.
there was a range of influences
Yeah, a lot of 40s and
coming in
50s
there.
stuff, I imagine.
So like I had my mom who showed me a lot of 80s, especially
Hmm.
action movies, were a
Yeah,
big thing
yeah.
because my mom loved action movies.
Yeah, wow.
So there was that, and I watched a lot of British television with my
Yes.
grandparents because I've seen probably every well, actually confirmed have seen every episode of Are You Being Served, and a lot of Keeping Up
Appropriate.
Appearances.
Yeah, yeah.
I
What's
cannot
that?
believe
I watched that as a
I
kid
cannot
too.
believe my grandmother, who went to church multiple days a week,
Yeah, yeah.
loved that movie, loved that show, and I don't know if she got the fact that Pussy Cat she been talking about wasn't just her dad.
Talking about a tabby.
Yeah, but I watched a lot of 50s, 60s movies, especially too. Watch a lot of
Mm.
war movies with my grandpa,
Yeah, wow.
and stuff like that. And, big historical religious epics, because,
Yeah.
it's that kind of Roman Catholic household.
Yep, yep.
But I think one of the first movie I want to talk about, because animation obviously is one of the things that a lot of kids
Yeah,
watch first.
absolutely. Yeah.
But as an adult, I still am very much obsessed with animation. So like this has
Hmm.
been something that's been part of my life, and some of my favorite movies are animated. And
Same.
I know you thought I was going to say Shrek, which that was a really close one,
I did,
but
yeah, yeah.
there was a first love, and that was Beauty and the Beast.
Ah, excellent.
And so that obviously came out the year I was born. I watched the hell
Wow.
out of that on
Yeah.
whenever it came out of the vault and my mom got it on VHS. Um, you know, back when Disney had the vault. Um,
Yeah.
I don't know and it's still one of my 50 favorite movies of all time. It's the music is amazing
Hmm.
and iconic, and I can still sing along to almost every single song in that movie. Belle was my Disney princess because she was smart and loved to read, and
Oh, yeah,
I
cool.
loved to read. And
Yeah.
I was always an academically inclined child and very motivated student. So like Belle, I gravitated towards. And now as an adult that I'm the beast,
Mm.
or at least look like it most of the time, it has a specific kind of connection to me. And that was the first animated movie that I fell in love with. But, I grew up watching all the most of the Disney movies from the Disney Renaissance from the 90s.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
watched a lot of old Disney animated movies too. And you had the Don Bluth ones of the
Yeah.
time too.
Yeah.
Watched all of those. But it was Beauty and the Beast was the one that really gravitated towards. And I love Shrek, love Monsters Inc.
Hmm.
I love anything that Leica and Cartoon Saloon puts out.
Yeah.
Those
Yeah,
are
like
much more like I gravitate towards those nowadays
yeah.
more than the Disney and Pixar ones, but still love them too.
Very keen to see
But
Hoppers, actually.
Hoppers is unhinged. To
Yeah,
be
you've seen
perfectly honest.
Hoppers?
Yes, it I took my wife and I took Jess's oldest friend Candace has a 2.5-year-old little
Hmm.
Elijah,
Yeah, yeah.
and we take him to kids movies now.
Ah, cool.
So we're going to be seeing Super Mario Galaxy
Ah.
as well coming up. But we took him to see Hoppers, and it's from the creator of We Bare Bears from Cartoon Network.
Is it? I didn't
So
know
any
that. That's even more exciting because We Bare Bears is amazing. My daughter loves that show.
oh my God, Adam, there's some crazy crazy stuff that happens in
Oh, I'm
Hoppers
so much more keen now.
that doesn't quite feel like a Pixar movie, but
Yeah, yeah, it
feels more
wouldn't.
like a Cartoon Network kind of thing.
Wow.
But no, Beauty and the Beast, I still
Mm.
love. I I listen to some of Beauty and the Beast soundtrack.
Yeah, okay.
um, I love Angela
Just some,
Lansbury. I used to watch Murder
yeah,
She Wrote with my grandmom.
same. Yeah. Well, not my
So
grandma, but yeah.
my mom and my grandmom together usually, but no, Beauty and the Beast, that first one that was like a really big influence on me.
Fun fact, because I was in my mid-teens when that came out, and I've got this, I did have quite and still a little bit of a black spot when it comes to those 90s Disney films, because I was probably feeling too grown up to watch movies like that at that age.
Yeah,
And I only watched Beauty and the Beast because I watched the live action one first, and then I watched this
interesting.
one. Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah, and then I thought I'd watch this because a lot of our Civ Pop friends always, rave about it, and I'm aware of the songs. And it was 2023 when I first watched Beauty and the Beast. I thought it
Okay.
was more recent than that actually, but loved it. Like it's a 4.5 movie for me, a 4.5 star movie for me. I thought it was fantastic.
Well, it was the first animated film ever nominated for Best Picture, and
Yes.
this was like when there was only 5 movies, so like that was legit. Lost the
Mm.
Silence of the Lambs. Talk about a
Yeah.
variety of nominees. Um, but no, I I actually enjoy the live action remake. There's some things in it
Yeah, I
that I
thought it was
actually
good. Yeah, it's very good.
like that they improved upon. I wish they
Hmm.
got somebody who's a stronger natural singer than Emma
Then Emma, what?
Watson, but like
Yeah.
I do love Emma Watson. Um, I'll
Yeah.
tangentially talk about Harry Potter later. Um, but
I wouldn't have it any other way. Yeah, I'm a Harry Potter nerd. I think I watched it just because she was in it, the live action as well, and that was like,
fair.
I should watch this because Emma Watson and she doesn't make a lot of movies post Harry Potter. Obviously, she
No,
hasn't been in a lot, so I had a bit of a
she
tear
went to
where I watched.
school.
She went to school and she's like, well, I'm rich as shit. I don't need to do a lot, do I? She does whatever she does, probably philanthropy and art and whatever. Who
Yeah.
knows? But yeah. Oh, she gets paid well from Prada. She always does a lot of Prada ads. Um, but yeah, no, I really like the live action as well. Was that the first? No, it wasn't the first dip in the pool for Disney with it doing that, was it?
I guess it depends on how you define it because
Yeah,
I guess
yeah. 101
technically,
Dalmatians even, actually.
yeah, I feel like technically that's where it kind of started.
Mm.
And then Alice in Wonderland, but that technically wasn't a remake.
Ah,
When you watch it, you realize it's a
yeah.
sequel. Um,
Oh, okay.
and then Maleficent was that weird, like they remade it but put a twist on it. You know how you
Mm.
should make remakes
Yeah.
and not just do the same goddamn thing again. Um,
So
but no, the
isn't Maleficent based on, is it Snow White or Sleeping Beauty or something? Is that what that is?
it's Sleeping Beauty.
Yeah, I've never
So
seen
the
them.
I enjoyed the Maleficent movie well enough.
Yeah.
It's just from a different perspective. But no, Beauty and the Beast was part of that stretch where they're like, what if we remade all of our great Renaissance movies? And just like,
Mm.
but why? Because it was that Aladdin and Lion King, which like
Yes.
any person my age, and you're just like
Yeah.
sacrilege. What are you
Yeah.
doing? And to be fair, I think the only one of those that really fell flat on its face was Lion King.
What?
I there's some
Oh,
things
that
about
is
the
in the
Aladdin movie I
remake.
really enjoyed too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Beauty and the Beast and Aladdin honestly did a pretty good job of remaking, modernizing a little bit. You know,
Yeah.
Jasmine actually had agency
Yes.
um in the new Aladdin movie, which was refreshing. And you know, in Beauty and the Beast, they changed it from a small child being turned into a monster to like a jerk 20 something year old, which I feel like
Yes.
that pill's a little easier to swallow because like in the
Then a
original
kid,
animated movie,
yeah.
like this kid was he was a kid. I'm like, he was being a brat kid. Why would you a monster?
Give him Ritalin, that'll
Jerk.
calm him down. Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. This kid's not a monster. He just has ADHD. What
Yeah,
are you
yeah,
doing?
exactly. That's what it was. Yeah. Kids were just little pricks, but now no, they have a disease. It's like, yeah, but it's called being a little prick. Like lack of parenting. That's what it is. Lack of smacks. It's funny because I wanted to lead on to the Lion King, touching on it because Lion King was only 3 years after, and I probably watched that
Yeah.
when I was maybe, hang on, yeah, it would have been 18 at least. And I loved The Lion King's still one of my favorite movies ever. So I
Well, I
wasn't too
think that was a
cool for
easier
school then.
sell
Yeah.
because it wasn't like a Disney princess movie.
Yeah, well, yes. Yeah, fair point, actually. Yeah, this was, yeah,
So
Lions in the
I
Serengeti.
think The Lion King had a little bit more of like a broader appeal because like
Yes.
lions, they're
Yeah.
talking animals.
Mm. See, I used to
So
watch the Beauty and the Beast show with my dad in the 80s, with Ron
interesting.
Perlman. Yeah, and I never watched the
Oh,
cartoon.
nice.
Yeah, and I remember kind of who was it? Wasn't Linda Hamilton in it? Was it? It was some.
I
Anyway,
don't
I
remember.
remember used to liking. I was because I was just hung out with my dad, watched whatever he watched. I remember watching. Would you ever
Yeah.
watch a show called Manimal? Did you ever watch that? It was lasted for 6 episodes. It was a guy who was he turned into animals to investigate crime. It was just had really
I don't
cool
think
special
so. I
effects.
re I had Animorphs. That was a
Okay.
big thing for me when I was a kid, those books, and I think they turned that into a show. Maybe, maybe they did. I don't remember.
Mm.
That's the blurring
Yeah.
of being younger. Um, but I guess I decided to choose each of these in a very specific way. So the next
Okay.
one I wanted to talk
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
because as an adult, I'm an action movie snob.
Hmm.
I will self-profess that. Science fiction might be my favorite genre, but like I
Yeah.
love action movies and I'm very particular about action movies and I'm pretty harsh on action movies that don't
Okay.
do action well.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I feel like this all began for me when a small Shane of 6 or 7 years old started watching James Bond movies. Um,
Ah, lovely.
and
I would.
GoldenEye was GoldenEye was a big deal for me because that was my first Bond. Like Pierce Brosnan was
Yeah.
James Bond when I was a kid.
Mm.
So I watched all four of his a lot. GoldenEye was a big deal because I had the N64 game as
Yep.
well.
Yeah, yeah. Which is
Um,
still probably the greatest game ever made. Probably.
I that's the reason I can't play modern first person
Mm.
shooters because I'm like, why do I need two joysticks? I thought you only needed one. That moves
Yeah.
and changes your perspective.
Yeah.
And then I try to play Halo for the first time. I'm like, what do you mean I have to move with one and then change my perspective with the other?
Yeah. I get motion sick off
It's-
modern ones. I can't play them. Because, yeah, N64, like, that was fine. I could do that. But modern ones, no, I feel like I'm going to throw up.
my brain was hardwired for GoldenEye and
Yeah.
64,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
couldn't learn how to play any other first person shooters. I suck at them pretty badly. So I don't play them often. But GoldenEye was such a big thing because I my biggest collection outside of Disney movies as a kid was my
Mm.
James Bond VHS
Love
collection.
that. Love that.
And I owned almost every single one of them.
Yep.
Bond month on TV was November, which was my birthday month. So
Yeah.
I would just spend like my whole birthday month watching James Bond movies on TV.
That's fantastic.
And I've watched all of I had watched the whole gambit of all of them from Sean Connery up
Yeah.
to Pierce
Yeah.
Brosnan growing up. And then, once like I was aware enough as a James Bond fan to remember the discourse of blonde Bond. And it's
Yes.
like,
Same. Yeah,
Daniel
yeah.
Craig's a blonde man. How can he
Yeah.
be James Bond?
They
And
ragged
then,
on him because he was ugly too. Like I remember seeing like clips of news people saying he's not attractive. I'm like, but now look at how they talk about Daniel Craig. It's crazy, right?
yeah.
They cast him right.
Well,
So,
he was great. He was
yeah,
perfect.
he was.
But like Pierce Brosnan was always that perfect balance of kind of ruthless and also being able to throw around the
Yeah,
one-liners.
yeah.
Like he's like, I was always a cunning linguist. And it's just
Yes.
like,
I can relate to your falling in love with Bond because I would have been around the same age when I watched Bond, and I think my first movie was actually Goldfinger or Moonraker was one of those two. Because
nice.
Roger Moore was my childhood Bond, and then the Timothy Dalton ones. I even at that age, I remember they weren't very good. And then Pierce Brosnan came along, and Pierce is probably my favorite Bond ever. But I love Tomorrow Never Dies. That's my favorite Bond film, I'd say, because it's so wacky and over the top and
Yeah.
nuts.
Uh, you have Michelle Yeoh
Yes,
as the Bond girl,
Jonathan
and
Price
Jonathan Price
is
is
excellent.
fantastic
Yeah, yeah,
as this media mogul falsifying the news to cause world wars. I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah. To sell more papers.
relevant,
Now it's for more clicks.
relevant.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm like,
Absolutely.
this is uncomfortable. But no,
Yeah.
I had a big soft spot for World Is Not Enough as well.
Yes, yeah. That's
And
Christmas Jones,
which,
right?
God,
That's yeah.
which Denise Richards is a very attractive woman.
Mm.
That's the worst part of the movie.
Yes,
Like
she's not good.
casting Denise Richards as a
Yeah.
nuclear
It's so funny, isn't it? It is funny.
but like Sophia Marceau,
Yes.
who Braveheart, and
Yeah.
then she's one of the coolest Bond villains. It's like a woman as a
Yeah.
Bond villain,
Yes.
and she's sexy, seductive,
Hmm.
dangerous. Um,
There's Terry Hatcher in
Obviously,
that one too. And she's in Tomorrow Never Dies, sorry.
she's in Tomorrow Never Dies.
Yes.
Um, and they brought back Valentine, who's one of my favorite side characters in James Bond, Robbie Coltrane, who's
Yes.
in
Yeah.
Goldeneye.
Yep.
But like Goldeneye was so great because obviously I had the connection because I knew all the like watching the movie, it's like, well, this is Depot, this is the train, this is Cradle. I'm like playing all the levels and stuff. And like Sean Bean as a
Yes.
evil double O was such a
Yeah.
cool idea for a
Yep.
villain. Alan Cummings, I'm invincible, and that whole thing. Uh, and it's just such an exciting movie. Martin Campbell knows how to direct a James
Yes,
Bond
he
movie.
does. There's a great cold opening for that, isn't it? Where he's the bungee jumping off the
Yes,
dam. Yeah,
the
it's a great
dam,
scene.
and then facility,
Yeah.
and the runway. And I'm just like, yep,
Oh,
I know all
yes.
these GoldenEye levels.
Yes.
Um, and it's such a cool idea. This being at after the fall of the Soviet Union. This is the
Yeah.
first post
Mm.
Soviet Union James Bond movie, which,
Yeah,
the Soviet Union was such a big piece of James Bond for years, and all this
absolutely.
conspiracy, the Cold War.
Hmm.
Judi Dench as M. Um,
Yes.
Pretty sure this is Tomorrow Never Dies when she has like, frankly, M, I don't think you have the balls to do this job. It's like, well, that means I don't have to think with them. And I'm like,
Yeah.
damn!
It grew up a
Judi
bit,
Dench
didn't
was
it,
so
Bond?
great as M.
Yeah. Oh, she was, yeah.
And
Yeah.
no, so I've seen every James Bond movie multiple, multiple, multiple times,
Yep.
and I'm old
Same.
enough now to admit a lot of them suck. Like a lot of them are not
Oh,
like
yeah. Yeah.
great movies,
But they're great guilty
but
pleasures. I mean, Man with the Golden Gun with Christopher Lee. I love that. And I know it's
that
not
movie
great,
should have
but oh,
been
geez, I
so
love it.
much better.
Ah,
Like it legitimately has one of the best. Well, actually, the Bond villain was more interesting than Bond because, like,
yeah. Yeah.
Christopher Lee is Bond.
Scaramanga. Yeah. Yeah.
His cousin
Could have
Ian
been.
Fleming did base him off of him. So,
Yes. Heard about that recently. Yeah. Yes. Isn't that
so that was a
funny?
big deal that they
Yeah.
got him to be. And yeah, the Man with the Golden Gun, Scaramanga, was fantastic. I'll never forgive them for the full whistle
Mm.
because James Bond has some of the most amazing practical stunts in it.
Yes, it
And the
does.
fact that they did that jump, flipping that car across that
Oh,
river, and decide to
incredible.
put a in there, I'm like,
Oh, yes, the slide whistle thing.
yeah.
Oh,
So
it's very
can we
80s. It's so
can
80s.
we George Lucas special edition that and edit that out
Mm.
for good?
Yes, it's
Like,
so
can we
dumb.
do that?
That'd be nice.
Like,
I always forget about that.
that's so dumb. I'm like, you just did an objectively amazing stunt, and
Yes.
you ruined it with a
Yes.
stupid
Well,
slide whistle.
on the same note, I think it's the same movie where he flies a plane sideways through a barn. Is that the same movie? And then when he
That
comes
might
out, like, when he goes in, he's facing like north south, but when he comes out, the plane's flipped over and facing the other way. Like it's like a, what do you call
trying to
it?
remember if that's that one, but there's so many great stunts. Like Nolan even ripped off the beginning of Dark Knight Rises from License to Kill.
Oh,
That
really?
whole hatching a plane with another plane
Oh, yes.
and
Yes.
that centrifuge stunt was actually in the beginning of License to Kill, the Timothy
Yeah.
Dalton James Bond movie.
Oh,
And this is why
yeah.
Christopher Nolan should direct a James Bond movie. And you better give him Final
He
Cut,
wants to. He wants to.
Amazon. Well, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure that's the reason. Like Denis Villeneuve's not going to have Final Cut
No.
on his Bond movie.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I wouldn't agree to that. I'm Christopher Nolan. I'm not going into any movie without Final Cut on my movie.
Yeah,
Like,
100% they would have spoken to Nolan. He would have gone, nah, not with that final cut.
so, but no, James Bond movies, and that has opened the door for Die Hard and RoboCop and Predator and
Mm.
tons of Arnold and Rambo, all the Rambo movies. And now today I'm a huge Mad Max fan, Mission Impossible, John Wick. I love action movies.
Yeah.
So, and it all began with James Bond, and GoldenEye was like that first one that really got me into
I
it.
love that. It's a perfect choice. Yeah, because Bond would be an answer for so many of us, I think, especially Gen
Mhm.
Xers and yeah, millennials like yourself. Yeah, Bond's a great
Absolutely.
choice. What about number three?
So, so thinking about movies that were like me finally watching like adult movies,
Hmm.
as in like
Yeah.
things that adults watch and not just like kid movies.
Uh-huh.
I grew up, like I mentioned, I grew up in a household with my grandparents. I grew up in a household that was very Roman Catholic. My grandma went to church multiple times a week.
Yep.
And every Easter was watching Ben-Hur
Uh-huh.
on television.
Yep.
And because Ben-Hur, Tale of the Christ, because of Judah Ben-Hur's parallel story with Jesus.
Hmm.
And Ben-Hur's still one of my five favorite movies of all time. It is an incredible epic. It's one of the most impeccably created historical epic films ever put on the film. I'm still a huge Charlton Heston fan from
Mm.
growing up
You
with
are.
Ben-Hur and Planet of
Yeah.
the Apes, and then later like Soylent Green, stuff like that. And the Ten Commandments. Ten Commandments could also be up there too. But
Yes, that's a great
Ben-Hur
movie.
is incredible. That chariot sequence, which it's so funny watching Phantom Menace, being like George Lucas just ripped off Ben-Hur.
Oh, really?
Um,
See, I've not seen. I actually just brought the Steelbook of Ben-Hur, but I still haven't watched it yet because it's
Nice.
too bloody long.
It's fair. It is 3.5 hours. But no,
Yeah, yeah.
the pod race scene in Mos Eisley's on Tatooine is the chariot sequence from
Oh,
Ben-Hur. Like it's
okay.
shot like it, it's edited like it. Um, and Carlton Heston just gives this towering performance. And honestly, I appreciate when a faith-based film can deliver and not just be a preachy, annoying
Yes.
uh project. And they don't make a whole lot of faith-based films anymore that aren't preachy,
Yeah.
annoying types of films where they forget they're making a movie too.
Oh, yeah. I was kind of
Which
surprised about with the Ten Commandments with that. I was expecting it to be more preachy, but it's not really.
no, it presents honestly the Ten Commandments kind of just presents the biblical story like it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's not really pushing like obviously like the preachiest thing is by the end where he's like, I'm gonna smite thee from this mountain
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
and opening up the earth and stuff like that with Carlton Hess and his giant beard hulking around the Ten Commandments on those tablets, which
Yeah.
also one of the greatest parody jokes ever is in History of the World Part One, where
Oh,
Moses is like, I have brought thee God's 15, and then he drops one of the tablets.
yes.
10 commandments. I laugh so hard at that.
Yeah, it's good.
But Ben-Hur is just one of those films, and like that opened the door for like I was really tempted to put The Godfather here
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
my grandfather made me watch that when I was 10,
Yeah.
because it was my culture, as an Italian American, which there are very few
Paisan.
films that capture a true, honest, authentic Italian American family dynamic like The
Yeah.
Godfather, because it
Yeah.
was made by an Italian American,
Hmm.
written by an Italian American. You would think that, people who'd
Yeah.
understand it. Um,
Absolutely.
and I've been watching movies that are above my age level for a
Mm.
long time
Yeah.
since then. And my mom wasn't strict, obviously, on
Mm.
the types of movies I'd watch and like watch like Patton and The Great Escape
Yeah.
and The Dirty Dozen with my grandpop and stuff like that. So like I had
But they're
all of those
fine.
types of things.
They're good films to grow up on. They're not rude and crude and or horror
No.
like yeah.
I will point out that I was allowed to watch Sunny get lit up by Tommy guns, but my mom made me cover my eyes when Apollonia's breasts are shown on
In, in
Michael's wedding night. I'm like, that's America in a
yeah,
in a
absolutely.
microcosm.
Yep.
Just like, um,
Yep.
bullets, blood, fine, boobs, back,
Boobs are bad. Yeah, isn't that? Yeah, it
boobs are
is a
bad.
weird. It is a very weird cultural choice that violence is fine, but sex is not. Yeah.
One of these is natural, one of these is not.
Yeah.
But it all really began with Ben-Hur being one of those like adult movies that I
Mm.
watched as a family and then
Mm.
kind of just opening the door to because like there's violent stuff in Ben-Hur. They have a whole entire sea battle where you see bloody people getting killed and
Okay.
you have the chariot race where Masala gets like stampeded
Mm.
and he doesn't look great after he gets
So,
stampeded like that.
out of the films that we've spoken about then so far, what do you think it is that grabbed you, that actually drew you in to, for these films to make you want to watch more films? Like,
So like I f- Beauty and the Beast sparked a love for animation and just the imagination of what you could do with movies
yeah,
because fantasy is the hardest thing to make work,
yeah.
I think, as a genre
You're a
because you
Lord
have
of
to
the
really
Rings
buy
guy too,
in.
right?
I'll get to there in a second. Um
Okay. Spoiler.
and I think James Bond, it's just like the thrill of it all. And
Mm,
that's why I love action movies. It's so thrilling and you put you on the edge of your seat
yeah.
and put you on a ride. And Ben-Hur just there's things that like I don't know if it like subconsciously just realizing like this is what like making a movie looks
Mm,
like. Because like
mm.
that movie is epic. Production design, the costuming, the filmmaking, it's all incredible. And maybe that was one of the first movies where I started really noticing
Yeah.
those types of
The
things and
production
really
values.
appreciating.
Yeah, yeah,
Well, because like they put in the effort
yeah. Mm.
into making that
It,
quite the experience.
it's very fascinating because remember at a young age when you watch a film, because watching Ben-Hur in the 90s as an adult for the first time, you probably wouldn't have appreciated it as much because of comparing it to modern
Yep.
technology and effects and whatnot. Like a kid now, like if one of my kids watched something from the 80s and the practical effects involved, they probably wouldn't enjoy it as much because it doesn't look as realistic as a digital thing and whatnot. So watching that in the 90s for you, and well, even as a kid, I watched movies as a kid Wizard of Oz was one of my favorite movies as a kid. But if I had to watch that for the first time as an adult, I wouldn't have that same connection because of that similar thing. Like the production values don't marry up to your modern times. So
Mhm.
I think it's a fascinating take. Just as I'm thinking about it, that movies like that kind of only affect our opinion of them for a short period of our life. Because as youngsters, we can move past that. Like we can actually see the film for what it is. But there's a certain time when you do watch more modern films, and sorry if I'm ranting, that you
Yep.
don't appreciate those older films. But when you watch enough films and get to like our age, or obviously I'm older than you, but to our ages, you can appreciate them again because you appreciate them then for the time that they were made, rather than just the spectacle that you're seeing as a youngster. It's a weird.
Well, and now I like I'll it was so funny because I rewatched Ben-Hur on my birthday, not last year, the year before,
Hmm.
and Jess, my wife, sat and watched it with me, and she had never seen it. She had no interest in watching it, and she actually
Mm.
got engrossed by it,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
was like surprised by like how good of a movie it really was.
yeah.
And like as somebody who loves film now as a 30 something year old, it's like being able to go back and watch these movies like shameless plugs to Cinematic Wasteland.
Yes.
Last night I was watching Alexander Nevsky for our show, and like I saw a bunch of comments in the letterbox, and like if you've seen a modern made medieval like historical epic, they watched this movie.
Right.
And all
Right.
action lends itself back to this movie. I'm watching this movie, I'm like, I
Oh,
could see like these are fingerprints that have
yeah.
been influenced. And
Interesting.
you know,
I'm yet
I
to
don't
watch
think
it.
anybody who makes any kind of historical epic at this point, there's some kind of influence from William Wyler and Cecil B. DeMille
Mm,
with
mm.
Ten Commandments and Ben Hur. It's just
Okay.
it's there.
That's interesting.
And also that movie was important to me because it was a communal experience.
Yeah.
I watched it with my family.
Yep.
It was my mom, my brother, my grandparents. If any of my cousins or uncles and stuff like that were over,
Mm.
we watched it.
Yeah. So it's a
And
nostalgia factor now too.
and I host a movie marathon every month with my friends, and like
Mm.
I actively try to create community around watching movies.
Yeah, that's excellent.
And it
Do they
was
come to your
something that,
house?
yeah,
Oh, wow. That's awesome. Wish I lived
yeah,
closer. That'd be great.
yeah. See, I'm gonna go on a slight, well, this isn't a slight tangent. This is one
No.
of those tangents where like all the money we're spending in the world on AI and wars and stuff,
Yeah.
why don't we have portals yet?
Yeah. Yes.
Portal technology,
That'd
where
be great.
why should I have to pay? It's conspiracy now. It's the transportation lobbies. They don't want us to
The
stop using
airlines.
cars and planes
Well, the
and
airlines
stuff
have
like that.
blocked that technology for sure.
Because like I would I would portal you and Luke in and
Absolutely.
anybody else. Because like I have upwards of like 12, 13 people over watching
Oh,
movies
wow.
every once
Yeah.
a month, and like it's that kind of experience is a special kind of thing. And
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
being able to watch a film with a group of people and just appreciating it.
Hmm.
And my last one, which
Yes.
these are my favorite movies, it's watching Fellowship of the Ring in a theater was a really special moment for me. And 2001 was such an important year of movies for me because I watched Shrek,
Mm.
I watched Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, here in the States, not
Ah,
Philosopher's Stone.
yes, yes.
Um, and because what the hell's a philosopher? Um, in that context. Um, and then Fellowship of the Ring came out. I was 10 years old.
Hmm.
My aunt didn't check the runtime, and I had a basketball game because I
Yes.
briefly played basketball for 2 years because I was tall. Um, and I missed the last third of the movie. My aunt's like, it's almost over. When we left, Adam, when Frodo got stabbed by the cave troll, there's a whole hour of movie. And
Cliffhanger.
I showed up to school on Monday, and one of my classmates is like, "You missed them fighting a giant fire demon," and I'm like, "What?"
Oh,
and
wow.
and
Yeah.
then my mom
Yeah.
took me to see Two Towers and Return of the King, and like I just remember sitting there watching Helm's Deep
Yep.
for the first time and just being like in awe.
Mm.
And they're my favorite films. They are the most well-rounded made films I can think of because they do everything great.
Yep.
None of them won an Oscar for best acting performances, but
Hmm.
those ensembles were incredible.
Yeah.
The effects, the combination of doing forced perspective and models and makeup and
Mm.
CGI, it's just incredible. And you watch films today that can't make anything
Absolutely.
at what Peter
Absolutely.
Jackson did.
Yep.
And the
Hmm.
cinematography, the score, Howard Shore's scores for those
Yes.
movies are some of the most layered, dynamic, varied. Like, this
Mm.
isn't like running back the same themes over and over again. They're like 15 different themes over the
Yeah.
course of these movies.
Mm.
And just everything about them. I'm like, I was in awe of what movies can be. But
Yep.
also, they signaled that connection with going to the theater
Hmm.
because that was like those are the movies that made me really love going to the movie, like going to the movies,
Yeah. Yeah.
and to the point where I went to go see all three Lord of the Rings in theaters. I saw all eight Harry Potter movies in theaters,
Wow.
and when they released in November, those were the ones I went for my birthday.
Ah.
Those
Yep.
are those were my birthday gifts going to go see
Yeah.
the Harry
Cool.
Potter movies in a
Yeah.
theater. I have seen almost every single Marvel MCU movie in a theater. I've seen most X-Men movies in a theater. It was just like that became such a special thing of me getting excited and wanting
Yeah.
to go out to the movies. And, you know, now I go to my going to the movies is very different, and I had a harsh a dose of reality this past week of like
Mm.
what going to the movies is for me anymore because most movies I either get a screening link or I go to a press
Yeah.
screening for.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you don't get the same communal going to a
No.
movie
No.
feeling from a press screening because they're all there to do their job.
Yeah. Serious watches.
But it also means I don't have to deal with nonsense. Like I'll tell you
Yeah.
this. It's a lot of there's a lot of details of the story, but I had to walk out of my screening for Ready or Not, Here I Come
Oh, really?
because how bad the audience was being.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Yeah. Wow.
So
What are they? What were they doing?
somebody was threatening people and threw the N-word out there, hard R,
What?
in the middle of the theater, and
What?
the AMC folks wouldn't throw them out. They
Why?
gave the here's your official warning
Oh my God.
because that's AMC policy, and my wife's the one who tattled on them. So Jess did
Yeah.
not feel comfortable sitting in that theater with that piece of
Yeah.
crap.
Of
So
course.
we left. So
Do they refund you?
no, I didn't even wait because literally everybody from the front desk went to go warn this person, and we
Right.
weren't waiting around for them to get back.
Right. Fair enough.
So they will AMC will get a formal complaint from me.
So it wasn't nothing.
But
It
like,
was nothing to do with the movie. Just people fighting, was it?
yeah.
Damn.
And apparently the week before at this theater, there was an all-out brawl in front of it. They had to evacuate the theater and call the police.
This is insane.
So like, And that sucks
Mm.
because like I want to be able to go opening night to a movie and get that communal experience, but
Yeah, yeah.
people suck. And I don't recall ever having situations like that growing up.
Never see that in
And like
Australia. I never known that to happen here.
so, but like Lord of the Rings was that special thing for me
Yeah, yeah,
of being able to go to the movies and just be enamored with what the theater going
yeah,
experience was like.
yeah,
And has been, well, up until recently,
yeah.
a really special thing. Like I didn't feel whole during COVID
Mm,
when like
mm.
I'm like, I'm not going to movies. Like, what the hell is this?
Yeah,
Like, what am I doing?
yeah. Well,
And
yeah. I remember going. I'm pretty sure I went to see Tenet in the cinema. I'm quite positive. Me and my partner went at the time. Yeah.
well, my wife has really bad asthma, so
Mm,
we had to like we waited until there's a vaccine and stuff like that. And
yeah.
I just went to luckily I had some drive-in movie options. Um,
Yes.
so
Yes.
that was an interesting experience. I did see Tenant at a makeshift drive-in at a shipping yard where the screen
Ah,
was draped
yes.
across shipping containers.
Yeah.
And you know exactly how Christopher Nolan wanted me to watch the movie. Like Fellowship of the Ring was just the start, and like I remember going to the midnight premiere of the Avengers or the midnight premiere of X-Men Days of Future Past. I think that was the
Okay.
last time I went to a midnight movie because I am not a night
Yeah,
person.
yeah.
Um, going, opening night to or no, seeing Fury Road
Mm.
in a theater. And those are the special things, and all started with Lord of the Rings for me. So that's why not only are they my favorite films, but those were some of my favorite movie going
So you
experiences.
would have been around 10 when Fellowship came out, yeah?
I was 10, 11, and
Yeah.
12 when the
Yeah, it's a
three of
perfect
those came
time.
out.
That's what I mean. That is the seminal time for you to fall in love with something, whatever it happens to be. So yeah, it's I can imagine. I mean, you're aware of my history with Lord of the Rings. We've spoken about this in
Yep.
other shows and other and privately that I had never gotten in because I can't. I used to read a lot and I tried to read fantasy books because people kept recommending them to me, and I just can't follow along with the names. I don't know who the hell's who. And when I first watched Lord of the Rings, I didn't know who the hell
There's a
they were
lot.
talking about. Yeah, so and even with Star Wars, actually, the first time I remember loving Star Wars was when I watched it and had subtitles, so I could actually kind of see. And when I read their names, I could then, when they spoke of that name again, I kind of picture, I knew who they were talking about.
Mhm.
And Lord of the Rings was very similar for me. Like I watched Fellowship a couple of times. I was like, yeah, it's good. Watched Two Towers. I thought that's really good. Could not watch. Didn't get past the first 15 minutes of Return of the King like three times. And it was like last year, maybe 2 years ago, I got the 4K set and watched them, subtitles on, and I was like, yeah, these movies are fucking great. They're excellent. Like, yeah. So I did, and I've been meaning to watch them again for the last 3 or 4 months, and it's just finding 9 hours because I watched the extended cuts first time, so I'm just going to watch the
Which
theatricals this
are
time.
330, three
Yeah,
forty,
yeah.
and 410.
It's a commitment, absolutely. But
Yeah.
they again they don't feel like movies that long either, except the ending of Return of the King goes on for fucking ages. But otherwise, they don't feel like that length in time.
Well, they were also my first physical media
Mm.
pieces of physical media that I loved.
Yep.
Because I remember when I went away to college, my first ever Amazon purchase was when
Oh.
I found out that there's extended editions,
Ah, yes.
and I bought the DVD box sets, the
Mm.
green, the red, and the blue ones.
Yeah, yeah.
And like I have my 4Ks somewhere down there,
Yep.
but the packaging has just gotten more and more boring. And I'm like,
Cheaper. That's what it is. It's lowering
yep,
overheads. Yeah, yeah. Because DVD
yep,
was the shit. They put effort in the DVD, even DVD menus. Like you don't see
yeah.
menus like that anymore. They were fun. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But
Anyway.
yeah, so those
Um,
are my four.
excellent choices. I've not had you're the fifth person. Hang on, I can't count. Yeah, fifth person. I haven't had the same movie mentioned twice yet, so this is good going. So
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm getting to talk about a lot of these, and there's only one of yours I've not seen. So that is on my watch soon list whenever I don't have homework movies to watch and I have 3.5 hours spares. But mate, thank you so much. That was a great chat. Loved hearing about what made you fall in love with movies because you are one of the biggest movie
Absolutely.
lovers out there. Do you want to tell the folks what you do, where you do it, and how you do it? Plug away.
There we go. You can head over to the Wasteland Reviewer YouTube channel where I review a lot of new films. I will, moving forward, be having one weekly show, which is Welcome to the Wasteland, where I highlight a director and take a deep dive, which Adam will be popping up for a few of my Hitchcock episodes
Mm,
coming up. I have my website where I have a handful of monthly articles and some written reviews of new films. My Instagram, I do uh daily themed reels and shamelessly plug whatever I do. And I have a few podcasts here on the SPDM Crew podcasting network. And I dabble in terms of Sif Pop and Knock on Wood Film and you
mm,
know, and
righty.
I guest places. So the if you want to keep track of all the stuff that I do, always check out my story on Instagram since I always keep
Yeah.
that pretty updated.
Can recommend. And Shane, after hearing all that, Shane also does work full time. So yeah, bear that in mind.
You have a job uh, and a part-time job at a college,
Yes.
running a tutoring center and teaching.
Mm.
So, and not film. I teach statistics and business analytics.
Yeah, and it's crazy. I always joke with Shane. He has Hermione's time turner. So yeah, I don't know. I still think he's a
My
wizard of
new
some
favorite
sort.
theory is I have a council of Shanes, and there's actually
Yeah.
a group of me.
That's great. I like that.
If there was, I would be unstoppable.
Yeah, you could take over the world, I reckon. Shane Musk.
It's funny because I wouldn't even have that ambition. I just would want to do all the
Yeah,
stuff that I'd want
you
to do.
well, you just if you was two of you, you could use that other person to watch all the other films that you want to get to. That's what I would do, to be honest. As long as you can download their experience watching it, yeah, that'd be great.
There you go.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you very much for coming on. I can absolutely recommend all of Shane's stuff. As he said, if you want to see more of me, you'll see more of me on Shane's shows as well on YouTube. And they may have been played by now by the time this podcast is going out. So anyway, look him up on the Wasteland.
Everything.
On everything, yes. So I forgot where I was at there. Anyway, thank you everyone for tuning in. Screen Time with KerbRider is a member of the SPDM Crew podcasting network, wherever you get your podcasts. Lots of cool stuff to see. I'm not going to do an outro like Shane does because I'm not that professional. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Check us out. You can catch me, KerbRider _ Screen Time on Instagram and KerbRider at Letterboxd. Shane's also Wasteland Reviewer on Letterboxd too, if you are so inclined.
Yes.
Thanks everybody for tuning in, and we'll see you next month with another exciting guest and their 4 movies. Thanks for tuning in, and see you then. Bye.